Hello YouTube, Zach from Zach's Rides here. So this time of the year for me is really hectic. I do a big Halloween display in our yard. You can see we got animatronics sitting here waiting to go out. We got our little Gordo guy over there. But the side effect of this is that means that the garage is a disaster. So I actually had a company reach out to me by the name of Fleximounts, and they sent me a really cool crank up overhead storage solution that's right in that box right over there. So we're gonna get some stuff moved around here and get to setting this guy up to show you how easy this is going to make my life. Not bad. All right, so it's been a few days since I shot that intro, and I got more stuff set up here, so I'm gonna clean up a little bit in here quick before we install this. But I started reading some of the notes in here before I got too far, so I want to cover a couple things with you here. Okay. So the 71-inch axle length exceeds the dimensions of the 4x4 foot deck, okay? So that's 48 inches by 48 inches on the deck. Please ensure the supporting beam has adequate length. The rack is compatible with 12-inch, 16-inch, or 24-inch ceiling joist spacing. Note, not compatible with 18-inch joist spacing. Now here's the deal with this. My garage was originally a one-car garage, and then they added on the second portion of the garage here. When they joined up those joists, the first set is spaced at 18 inches. The rest of the joist spacing is at 24 inches. So that throws it off, and I want to put this basically right in the middle of where the two halves meet. So we're going to see what we have to deal with. I have installed a overhead lift system for our old Jeep, went back when we had a hardtop Jeep, and I basically added some extra boards to go across, so none of that spacing mattered, and I might do that with this, so we'll see. Of course, this has a hand crank to lift everything up, and then this is rated for 300 pounds capacity, so whatever you can fit on a 48 inch by 48 inch platform that weighs less than 300 pounds. It is tested for up to 600 pounds, so you could probably be a little bit heavier, but they say safely rated at 300 pounds. The other thing I should mention is that they do recommend garages that have a ceiling height less than 9 feet, and I'm sure that's because it has 79 inches of travel to go up and down, and once you get higher than 9 feet, it makes it harder to load the stuff and kind of takes away the use case for the lift and everything. So we're going to unbox this, look at some instructions, and see if I have to go to the hardware store to make this fit even better. All right, I want to show you guys how this comes packaged, and I'm pretty happy with this. It looks like a lot of the stuff that I was worried about, like the way that this is wound up, should be pretty simple for me. It comes packaged, I'd say, pretty darn well. We got some leg bolts, some hardware and stuff in there for the installation part of it. I know that there's a cardboard template there, which we'll use to kind of measure out. All these cables are nicely separated in bags and everything. They give you well, whatever this is, we'll find out. Chinese writing on it. Some more of these, some more mounts right here. These look like the rollers. Yep, those are the rollers. And then our instructions. So we're gonna organize all this stuff, get it out, and see how much of a bugger this is to install. All right, one thing I want to point out before we get too far into the install part, these brackets look pretty darn high quality. Very nice, just feel, they're heavy. They definitely seem like they are overkill for what the weight rating is. So I feel pretty confident getting this guy up. So the installation is relatively simple. They do give you a nice template that helps you plan out how you're going to install your lift system. First things first is I put the rollers, the far side rollers, on in accordance with where the template told me to place them. And then I installed my mounts for the lift itself. You see me here pre-drilling holes for the mounts here. And then the next thing I'm doing is with my little impact, installing the leg bolts into my trusses, and that is basically the same way that I held up all of the hardware that gets attached to the trusses. After I have those mounts in place, I'm going to take the lift itself, and you can see it collapses in on itself in the center rod, and basically I just line it up with the 2 mounts and I extend it out until it can't go any further. Once I do that, there's 2 holes that are in the middle section of this lift mast, and you have to put hardware in both those holes, and that's to prevent it from collapsing on itself. After you do that, basically you attach your lift to your mount so that way it can't move within those mounts. And then I'm going to open up the bags that hold these cables, and I'm going to string these cables out. So I'm going to, from the factory, these cables are already cut to the correct length. So if you use the template when you install this, you shouldn't have any issues with cable length, and it should actually give you a level shelf system as long as your trusses are level. Here you can see I am unfolding the shelf itself, and then once I have that all unfolded, there's stickers that tell you which side is up. You attach the supports on either side by using hooks and a couple pieces of hardware. That way it is secure into one solid piece. Alright, so we pretty much got this thing installed and done, so I'm going to do a test run to see how it lifts up. I already lifted up a little ways. I'll still have to take down my cardboard template here in a little bit, but let's see how this guy works. Going the right way? We sure are. Now, I'm sure you could probably put this thing on a drill and crank it up faster, or I can fast forward this part of the video. Nah, let's try the drill. All right, now we got our drill attached. Let's see how this works. Not bad. All right, so we are installed. We raised that up, adding the drill to it. Now, I don't say nothing in the instructions about you should do that or shouldn't do that, so I did it. But that is how easy this guy comes out. I'm doing this one-handed while holding the camera, so let's see if I can get this in frame even. There we go. See how easy that is? That comes out. And when you take that out, you're just going to flip this guy back over. Looks like if I do this, I can grab onto that guy to lock that in place, and that keeps that from unwinding basically. But I will tell you that this feels pretty darn secure, just as it is. So you pull that back over, then we can put our hook back in. And I'm doing this all with one hand. It's a lot easier with two. I don't know if any of that was in frame, but just trust me. In my scenario, it was a little bit unique because I did have this light fixture right here. I have just enough room to get that light fixture screwed back in. And I'll have to put my other little fluorescent looking LED light thing back up there. But, you know, this worked out better than I thought it would. I wasn't sure when they first reached out if this was going to work that well in my garage. Because it is a shorter. Originally, what we were talking about was a permanent metal shelf system, similar to what I have built in the corner out of wood here. And I just thought, you know, I want something that's modular, so I can, you know, take things down easier. And I thought this was a cooler system for most people. The other nice thing is, you know, if you're not storing certain things up there and it's empty for a while, you can raise it up even higher so it's even more out of the way. So it's a really, really nice system. I think that it's very quality made. This house is not the most, what do you call it, level in the world. It's an older home and it's been added on to over time. And, you know, it's not a brand new home. So this thing leveled itself out pretty good, so they have the cables measured out really nicely. And overall, I bet you if I wasn't trying to film while doing this and it wasn't 80 some degrees with like 80% humidity, I probably could have got this done in probably around an hour. It took me about an hour and 45 minutes or so, but that's with filming and doing other things to try to make it work. So the other thing is I did go to the store to get 2x4s because I thought I was going to put this on a little bit different way. I ended up not doing that, and this worked out perfect. So if you have any questions, leave them in a comment below. I'll answer them the best I can. There is an affiliate link to this guy below as well. So if you'd like to have one of these for yourself or check out anything else that they have in their store, I definitely suggest looking their stuff over because they have a a bunch of different solutions for you. But please use those links. It does help support the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it. But again, as always, thank you guys for watching. I know this isn't a motorcycle video, but this helps us. We're putting our bikes away for the winter. We want to store our gear in a special space, you know, anything like that. For me, I want to store some of my Halloween stuff. I got an animatronic in that box I haven't set up yet, so I want to get him up there. And just to put this in perspective, guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is my front yard. I have a walkthrough going through the front yard. I have, you know, 15-foot tall creatures and all sorts of things. I have a pet cemetery. We take donations every year for the Humane Society. So that it goes in there. And I got jump scare stuff I have structures that I've built. It's quite the setup. So I need to have some stuff easily accessible throughout the year so I can keep this stuff going. But anyway, that's a little peek into behind the scenes of my life, I guess, that you don't get to see on this channel. If you are interested in more of the Halloween stuff, I do have a separate channel that covers the electric stuff that I do. Very little of that right now, but a lot of Halloween stuff. So if you're interested in that at all, check it out. I have a link to that channel below. It's called Boo and Zoom. And anyways, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to enjoy the ride. We'll see you guys in the next video.